seem to shake you, baby. I can't seem to shake you, baby. All I do is dream about you, baby. All I do is dream about you. Remember when you loved me? I loved you, and then you left me alone. You know I'd always come back home. We can't pretend that this is the end, baby. All I do is dream about you. I can't seem to shake you, baby. I swear tomorrow that I'll give you up. Save the sorrow for when we wake up. But for tonight, it seems I'm tangled up in you, tangled up in you. I can't seem to shake you, baby. I can't seem to shake you,
That's right, mi beautiful, linda raza. Don't forget to hit that like.
baby.
Por favor. Live Wednesday night.
I swear tomorrow that I'll give you up. And I will save the sorrow for when we wake up. But for tonight, it seems I'm tangled up in you, tangled up in you, tangled up in you, tangled up in
My.
tangled up.
Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. It's Wednesday night, the voice for Chicanos. Don't forget to hit that pinche like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, and then also hit the all button. That way you're notified every single time that we go live from Wednesday night, Friday night, the weekend show, and any time in between. Gracias to all the day oneers. Hold on. Before we get into everything, you already know we cannot skip the formalities. Gracias all the day oneers. Gracias to everyone in the members only, the backbone of the community. I highly appreciate the members only. We have a good old time in there. It's just that exclusive access. Sometimes gente quieren preguntar cosas. Not everything is for the internet. I just believe that. You don't got to believe what I believe, but not everything is for the internet. All right, let me go ahead and get the chat up. Let me go ahead and get the chat up because I can't see the chat. I can't see who's in the chat, but I appreciate you guys. And let's go ahead and then we'll get into it. The disagreement. There's a disagreement on the YouTube, Yarda. Oh, there is. There's a disagreement. What is that going to lead to? We'll talk about it tonight. We'll talk about that tonight. And should Chicanos speak Spanish? Should anyone that's Chicano, because I heard a rapper, ain't gonna say his name, was on a podcast, and he's like, some, and I respect everything he says, so don't get it twisted on my words. Some for my section, my group of people. Okay? I understand what that means. No soy tonto. So, but then I'm like, but wait a second. Someone started commenting and says, but you don't even speak Spanish. So should speaking Spanish also be a requisite? We'll talk about that tonight. All right, now I can see the chat. I appreciate you. Risky business in the casa. That's right. Puras pinches banderas mexicanas. Hijo de su madre. Como Mexico no hay dos, güey. Oh, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Then, who's a Mexican? Because it seems like we're talking about, some people say you got to be born over there. Some people say a birth certificate. Some people say ties, 100% bloodline is all you need. Well, we're going to talk about that tonight también, just to go ahead and set the record straight and take calls and take opinions. Before you call, though, we'll hook up the Bluetooth. All right, now you can call. All right, anyways, gracias to all the day oneers. Gracias to all the Chicano channels. You already know who you are. Gracias to everyone inside the members only and all the Chicano pages también. We don't all agree every single time on every single thing. Because when we get in the room and we want to talk maybe politics, it's always the biggest buzz killer and it's always the biggest divider, but it is what it is. At least we understand when we look at each other, we're raza. You know, we're Spanish, we're indigenous, we have the same blood inside of us, and that's how we move, okay? Don't be like some of these podcasters that all of a sudden someone sent me a screenshot. Our people. I'm like, cuidado, because some of these guys, what they do is te lavan el coco. Our people. He's already subconsciously planting a seed. Our people. And then when he slips at the tongue, when he says the N word, slips at the tongue or something like that, all of a sudden, it's our people. Remember? I kept telling you it's our people. So he makes a phone call and gets 50 friends to come over. Chale with those vatos. All right. So anyways, gracias to all the day oneers. P-Dog's in the casa. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you. Julio Solorio's in the casa. Órale, that's right, familia. So real quick, I just came back from the 805. I guess you could say this is a celebratory drink from the 805. So shout out to everyone that was that is in the 805 that we ran into. The hospitality is great. Las playas are de aquellas. They're off the hook. It's one of the largest area codes in California, gente. I mean, literally, it'll take you hours to drive through the area code, and it's going to start, from either Paso. It's going to start at Paso or maybe even more north past Bradley, and it's going to go all the way down to Oxnard. That's a huge area code, so shout out to the 805. So in celebration of the 805 and everyone from the 805, aquí está para ustedes. Hit the spot, too. Let me tell you. That's right. Feed my tubes in the casa. Meanwhile, poor Norbeez was looking like, stop already. What are we talking about already? You want to call in, cabron? We got opinions already? Here we go. Because one of the things we are going to talk about is there's a disagreement on the YouTube Yarda right now. There's a disagreement, and it's in regards to the Norbeez situation. But hold on. Okay, if you thought I was going to talk about that in the beginning, you're going to have to listen to the whole podcast. And gracias to everyone that listens on the podcast. Also, audio edition. I forget, there's an audio edition. And so to the audio edition listeners over there, the Nurses Memorial Hospital, Ray Reezy, the UPS drivers, FedEx, the In-N-Out Burger should pretty much be sponsoring your boy. So anyone that listens to the podcast, that's right, hit that like. You can do the same thing if you're listening on the replay. Hit that bell and then hit the all. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about was something you guys had sent me. A meme, a question, something, but in regards to then who is a Mexicano? I don't know why people get the illusion. Like, am I setting something new? Am I kind of like revolutionizing what my understanding of these things are? I really am not. It confuses me for someone to tell me. It confuses me when someone tells me that que no soy Mexicano because I was born in the United States, but 100% I know my bloodline, 100%. I know at least 5 generations, one of them including my parents. 4 and my parents, if you want to say that. Or I know 5 generations of where I came from, ancestry. But because I was born in the good old US of A, okay, este país que también amo. Shout out to all the veterans, everyone that's fallen. We just had Memorial Day weekend. Let's give them their due right now. I don't give a shit. We'll stop the podcast. Give them their due. Shout out to them with respect. And those are the people that are served, okay? The veterans are living, okay? They're the fallen, actually. Let's be technical. They're the fallen, and the veterans are the ones that are still alive. But shout out to them. But anyways, so who's a Mexicano? I'm not a Mexicano, even though I know 100, based on my geographical birth location. Someone can tell me que no soy. I'm asking the people now, because we're going to start getting this conversation going. Okay. We're going to get this conversation going. 831-205-1735, because I'm not trying to remake a new thing. It's just there's things that I'm very clear on, and it's black and it's white, and you could talk until you're blue in the face and try to tell me otherwise based on my birth certificate, which for the record, I have a Mexican birth certificate too. That's for the record. I wasn't born over there, no, but I was afforded citizenship because both of my parents were born over there. And all of these this was before they recently changed the law. They recently lightened the law up, but I did it before that process. Y querían un chingo de documentos. I'm talking about birth, baptism, marriage, and I'm talking about for each parent. And then they make a phone call to Michoacán, and then they make a phone call to Jalisco to verify things. That's their record system. So I did it there. I didn't do it the easy way. But for someone to tell me, well, you're not Mexican, because I believe a Mexican was born in Mexico, te voy a mirar con la cara de pendejo. Straight up. Now, about 80% of my friends, let's maybe give you some context here. Oh, the 805 is hitting the spot right now. 80% of my friends growing up were first generation Mexican Americans. We were born here. Our parents, different parts of Mexico, but Mexicanos through and through. Whether they were the very traditional ones, con los manteles and grandma, my mom actually, because my mom was born in the 30s, mantelitos mexicanos all over the place, little porcelain things that can break all over the place, y una cocina with just the best food, in my opinion, in el mundo, and the cultura. That was about 80% of my friends. The other 20% were kids of pochos, and were in different situations. And of course, I'm not talking about like the family makeup neither, because there was some single family homes, not too common as it is now. Because I think we came from a different era. We're in a different era back then, and they looked a little bit down on that. I'm not knocking anyone. I'm speaking the real. So 80% were first generation. I could imagine someone telling us back then, they absolutely called us Mexicanos, Mexicans. So where's the confusion now? I don't understand that. Where did all of a sudden we get confused because of a birth certificate? I mean, you're Scottish, mom and dad's side. The roots all the way going back to Scotland, but you're born in the United States. And you grew up over there. You have great memories being in grandpa's farm, doing whatever it was, the daily duties. Ain't no one going to tell you you're not Scottish, right? Because that wouldn't make sense to you. And now for someone on the internet, because the internet is crazy. The internet is crazy. Someone on the internet to tell you, well, you weren't born over there. That means you're not Scottish. Convince me otherwise, because that's not my experience. That's right, E-Rod 209. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you, cabron. He says I'm a Mexican descent. Yeah, I'm a Mexican. You know what's crazy? You know, today fuimos a unas graduaciones, ¿verdad? 90% raza. Maybe I'll ask the wife. 90% raza. This is the communities that I grew up in. 90% raza. 80 was the lowest number. 80% raza. And it's crazy as you study culture, historia, cultura. I can see in the raza's face more and more our indigenous roots. I don't know why. Just maybe studying it lately, I can see more and more the indigenous side. But the Spanish side is around 50%. Don't get that twisted. I mean, we're Spanish, about 50%. You know, maybe that's the good looks that we got.
Thinking of letting him in, ese?
Told you he's my best crime partner.
He ain't Mexican, ese?
That's what some of these guys are trying to say. I know I'm Mexican 100%. And it's crazy. Some of these podcasters, we know who, without even saying names, they want to be Mexican. It's like, bro, we didn't choose that. I didn't choose to be Mexican, cabrones. You didn't choose to be wherever it is you are or where you came from. Who chose that? You didn't choose that. The Bible says, by the grace of God, you are who you are. Could have easily been from any other continent and any other generation and any other kind of century born. But I'm a Chicano here in the 21st century, born in the 20th century. It could have been anything. So, again, that's right. I like the white 805. Can never a Modelo over a Modelo tall can. Ooh, cabron. I don't know about that, cabron. I never said this was better than a Modelo, cabron. Recant. You got 5 seconds to recant your statement. Way. No, I'm just kidding. Because Mexican beer is my favorite way. No, serio. So again, it's just that trips me out, you know. And then some of these cabrones, they're not comfortable in their own skin. You know, I'm not gonna say his name, Alvin, but all of a sudden he wants to start putting bandas. He wants to start putting bandas in his studio and shit like that. I'm like, in about a week or two, he's probably gonna have about 20 Mexican flags. Watch, he's gonna have 20 Mexican flags all over the walls, and he's gonna be like, our people, getting people ready for his next wreck, where he's gonna want to make a phone call and take the whole bola de raza. Chale. That's right, boss ladies in the casa. Hello, Chicano, ¿tú cómo estás? Oh, I'm good. Amiga, I appreciate you more than you know. Yo soy pura Chicano. Chicana, that's right, amiga. So is Miss Chicano Tube. We're going to be seeing Miss Chicano Tube come tomorrow. It's the Chicano Hour. So the Chicano Hour is a whole lot more topic-driven, themes. The last one we did, the Chicano Hour, trip on that, the 4 major killers of the raza. This is what no one talks about. And all the banned doctors and censored doctors that got all of their social media wiped away for giving certain information. And us, look at us. Somos de la tierra nosotros. O sea, our ancestors, they ate everything that came from the tierra. Que se sembraba del suelo. You know, they just put the label organic on there just to lift the price tag $3, $4. You know, my grandparents, great-grandparents, they all lived to like 100 years old porque comieron todo de la tierra. Y sí me agüito when I see all these helicopters, because I'm in Salinas Valley, amiga, and in the Salinas Valley, we export 50% of the nation's crops. It's huge. It's about a $4 to $6 billion industry. Me agüito when I see all the helicopters just spraying pesticides and chemicals, and I'm sure they approve it by saying it's something that's necessary, but, you know, eso sí me agüita. But I appreciate you, amiga. Gracias. So tune in tomorrow night. I don't know if we're going to talk about cheaters. I think we're going to talk about cheaters on tomorrow's topic. It's always something interesting. The yin and the yang, she balances me out. Straight up. She balances me out.
Life's a risk, carnal.
That's right. Don't forget to hit that like, EROT 209. But when I can teach a Mexican about Mexican history, then I tell them, no way. Soy Mexicano, cabrón. Yeah, the razas that, you know, and it's true that cuando nacimos, you know, in the barrios, in the neighborhoods, we never asked our friends. We never asked our friends those kind of questions. Todos éramos cafés, un color de café. But when I ask, hey, ¿de dónde son tus papás? Not really. Let's keep it real, okay? Now they might ask that, maybe, you know, this generation in their screening process of another person. hey, who are your parents or whatever. We never did. We were brown. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We went to the same schools. We just figured we were Chicanos. All of us. Kid Frost is keep it real. Before Kid Frost said Chicano, and I'm brown and proud. Who was a proud Chicano before that? Come on now. He pushed it. When he said that line gaslit, Chicanismo, just another, it seemed like it had taken a little bit of a sleep, for a couple years, or maybe through the 80s, and then boom, he drops it like in 90, 91, or something like that. That re-sparked a whole more sense of culture. To me, I've told my story of what sparked that. My mother, she was from San Jose de Gracia, Jalisco. It's probably why I'm light-skinned, cabron. The light-skinned, homie. Carlos says, I identify as Mexican food, but there's no Mexican box. Anytime we register for voting, there's no Mexican box. When we do any kind of legal documents, there's no Mexican box. So I always have to identify in those little boxes. I either put Indian, Alaskan, no, serio, I put Indian, Alaskan, or Islander, or other, something, but that they don't put Mexican, that they don't put Mexican American. Now, of course, let's be very specific. These things that are SOPs, these protocols, okay, these are government things. So obviously it'd have to be, legit and make a whole lot of sense, right? And so they're not just going to put Chicanos on there. Okay, maybe it does have to be some kind of a established name through some rule. Just there's so much technical crap that comes into setting in place certain things. I get that. But at least put Mexican American. Why don't you put Mexican American, African American, this American, that? So hard about that. All right. So anyways, we're going to move on from that one because we're going to talk about the YouTube Yarda. There's been a disagreement on the YouTube Yarda. Hold on, that's the next thing. Hold on, but let me read some of the comments. Órale, puro Morelos. Is that right, Michoacán, cabrón? So, Pops was from Michoacán, cabrón. Pops was from Cualcomán. So, soy de Cualcomán, güey. I know people se van a agüitar when I say this. You're born here, though. Cálmanse, cabrones. Damn. You got the pinche jailhouse lawyers everywhere. But anyways, that's right. Mexican history is propaganda. Orale, Al Red Dog. I appreciate you, my boy. So can we get a little bit more specific on that? Because the propaganda, I believe radio and television was created solely in its intention from the inception for propaganda purposes. That's what I believe. Now it's just cable TV or media streaming, whatever you want to call it, but it was made initially, I believe, and I could be wrong. Someone want to fact check me? I could be wrong. I'm saying don't quote me on this, but the invention of the radio and the television was used for that purpose, to mess with your enemy's head while you're at full-fledged war. That means the whole country is concentrating on the war effort as we know the history. Well, here, of course, I grew up in the U.S., cabron. I know they pumped us with their world history. And that makes sense. Come on. I'm in the U.S. Yo no me agüito. Just like, a lot of people be like, oh, man, they should speak all the language and stop forcing us to learn English. Cálmanse, cabrones. Okay? Sometimes we go off the deep end on certain shit, okay? Let's learn English, cabrones, while we're here. And in the end, we'll talk about should Chicanos know Spanish. Y deben de hablar español. Deben de conocer de hablar español, because you guys send me some videos, and this guy says our group, our section, and doesn't know a lick of Spanish. So someone commented and sent me their comment, and I said, valid point. We'll talk about that, all right? The YouTube Yarda disagreement all stemmed, I'm putting 10 on the 2, all stemmed from Norbeez after a video surfaced, a live took place, where I don't know why, gente. It blows my mind that this guy would, on purpose, deliberately, That's right, PYP Boxing. I see you, hermano. I can't wait to hit Texas with you, cabron. We got some fights coming up. Ooh, let's not put it out of the bag yet. Hold on, cabron. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, cabron. All right, what was I saying? The YouTube Yarda Disagreement.
Call from
James.
That's right, James is in the casa. You're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say, James?
I was here to call in to commentate on the Norbeez situation.
I was just getting into it, cabron, but you're the first caller. Shoot it.
Man, I just think that we're talking about when they were trying to say that he was being racist, right?
Absolutely. They crucified him and stuck nails in him like the Lord.
Okay, so the guy that admitted to doing that, I think it's a YouTuber and his name's Blue Devil.
That's facts.
Okay, so man, this dude's supposed to be Mexican and he's making money off Mexican Chicano content. And then he admitted to doing this. Like he's kind of I guess it's like look, tattletale, like snitching a little bit. Like he basically knew what he was doing, and he acted like he was some type of BLM dude, or like and he said he clipped all those videos of Norby to try to put him out there as a racist. So he took him out of context. The same thing that American Cholo and these dudes were fighting with, on YouTube with No Jumper about.
Exactly my point, my boy. The very same thing. When we push it in one direction, but we hate receiving, that's a hypocrite.
Yeah, I don't know. That's real messed up that they'll do, they'll do another Mexican like that when that word, I don't know, whatever that group of people that are offended by that word, I think, no disrespect to any group, I think that's kind of like a personal issue as far as like you not getting over a certain word. It's like, damn, we got to watch everything we say, every word that could be offend you. So it has to kind of like put our freedom of speech a little bit at risk of what we use or how we use, to describe. Maybe it was offensive. Maybe it was an offensive term because I think that's what he was trying to do, offend. But I don't think he was trying to offend racially. Like he meant that they were. You see, I can't even use the word now.
All of us saw the video.
Right.
All of us saw the original live. Context is key. If you don't understand context, then how the hell did you pass reading 101?
And Blue Devil, he's saying that he knew what he was doing and that he basically clipped the videos out like that. That was his work so that he could get canceled, so he could get canceled. So he basically took an opportunity to do some slimy, like snaky stuff, girlish, something like a girl would do, and try to make your own race look bad or look like race.
And then tell on yourself on the internet about it.
Well, he likes to brag. I think that dude is like, he's just so invested in the internet that he's getting to the point where he's like bragging about, like bragging, oh, I did it. Yeah, I did this.
You're right.
Just for attention.
You're right. I think you're absolutely right about that, James.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to call about. But I think we as Mexicans, I see Chicano, LA culture, it's all dying out. There is no more like being proud or no identity anymore. And because look, LA was supposed to be set the tone for the whole nation in America for Chicano culture. So LA is losing their culture now. They don't got a culture. It's over. All Chicano culture, I think, is over with. It's so over with that we don't even talk about the Chicano, like big artists that are coming up right now in Chicano rap, because we're so invested in talking about American Cholo and Norby that turn into, or Compa Raider, or all these dudes that people are talking about. Like, there is no artist. And what do you got, Lefty Gunplay?
I feel you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, gracias for the pinche call. I'm going to take another call.
All right.
Hey, for sure. All right. That's right, James in the casa, man. Let's go ahead and get back into it because he reiterated a lot of things that have happened right now. The disagreement, and this is what it was. So I went ahead and I did a live video. And when I did a live video, I said Norbeez has been cleared. Norbeez has, and this is from my research only. That means going back and looking at the original video, but for the third time. I don't need to see it anymore. But sometimes we see things with different lenses. That's what I'm thinking is happening in this instance right here. We're just seeing things from different perspectives. From me, the video clearly exonerated Norbeez 100%. Because, again, like I mentioned with James on the phone right now, shout out to James. Context is key. Context is like reading. You got to have context. It's like just reading shit and not comprehending it. That means you're just reading shit. You could be the fastest reader and read a lot, but you're missing comprehension. You're missing context. Gente, I'm not trying to give a pinchy reading class over here.
Risky business.
I'm not trying to give a reading class over here. But that's what it is. Context is key. So Chemo's flicks to say the original video is worser than we thought it was is a different opinion. We'll talk about the general Chemo right now. Risky business.
Yes, sir. Buenas noches, Mikey.
Hey, buenas noches, Wednesday noche. ¿Qué está haciendo, cabrón, on the road?
You already know, trucking it, man.
Don't forget to get those naps. Don't pass those 12-hour limits,
yes,
way.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Only when it's needed.
Exactly. Dime, I just touched on the Norbeez. Is this what you're calling about, cabrón? Or who's a Mexican? Is that what you're calling about?
I guess both. Look, I'll touch on the Norby situation real quickly. I know you're about to jump into it, so let me give you my take on things. Look, what I see is I think you're making an excuse for Norbeez, right? And I think you need to let this vato take accountability for his actions, right? He fouled up. He needs to face those consequences. There are consequences, Mikey. You know very well, of calling a grown man a bitch multiple times on a live. There's consequences for that, right? Okay. Because if not, then what are we teaching the youngsters? Run your mouth in the internet and there's no consequences? I don't think that's right. Now, but look, this is what's really getting me, because Norbeez hasn't came out and said to the people that he is not Mexican, that he does not represent Mexican people by his own admission. This is not something that I'm making up. This is something that came out of his mouth. So all of a sudden, he wants or needs the razas back up. Why? So what are you doing? You're playing games with the raza. First you say, fuck Mexico, fuck its language, and fuck its flag. But now you want that flag, that people that speak that language to back you up? Come on, man. You know? So I see him doing the same thing that American Cholo did with the whole Taiga, with the whole no jumper shit. Not once did that vato say, I'm not Mexican. So I think Norby needs to get some backbone and clarify that shit, right? Because for the longest he was saying fuck the Mexican language, fuck the flag. You know what I mean? So stick with that, bro. Stick with that and run with that, right? Let's not give any passes, right? Let's call it what it is.
I had to put off some M16 shells on that one. That's a great conversation that I hope we can have here on Chicano Tube in the future. You'd be interested in hearing that?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He needs to clarify that, man. He needs to clarify, because I saw a potential crashing of the raza by a vato that's not even raza, by his admission.
But here we go,
right?
because he's talking about nationality. We're talking about nationalities and like the first thing I heard was, that Mexico not to exist, it would have been better off. But then I realized what he really was talking about, and I believe I could be wrong, is that were we self-sufficient enough as an indigenous people, which all Mexicans are 50%. Were we self-sufficient enough that we didn't need anyone coming over because we already had a very advanced civilization? I remember that, but I don't remember him saying what you said.
No, and you won't. Now, keep this in mind. I've gone back and forth with Norbeez and Marvelous for a minute now, right? So whenever I tell you something, it's something that me and them have discussed on the live, just the way that I'm discussing this with you, right? So, but it's funny. But look, check it out. It's funny what the last caller just mentioned, right? About about Blue Devil making his own gente look bad. But look, bro, look. Check it out. I think you, Mikey, during this whole situation, you're guilty of the same shit, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you refer to Blue Devil as Banda World, as King of Calexico,
Chuntaro World.
really what you're saying, really, there you go, bro. Really what you're saying is you're making less of paisas, bro. So if you have that sentiment within you, how can then you say that you're a Mexicano?
There was another call that called me out on that. He said, paisas, and it's just, and I said, sí, I say, hasta así se llaman. But the root of, I actually did a video which was called, then should we come put, because remember the torta situation a couple months ago?
Yeah.
About a music video, tortas. So anyone can get offended. Anyone could just feel some kind of way and get offended. So I made a video after that, said, well, should we just remove all stereotypes? Should we remove all because to keep it real, even with the Taiga situation, you remember when I said this, there's three compas pisteando. There's a guy that walks down the street and looks like he just got a charro suit at the garage sale. Are the three compas pisteando are jumping on him, getting offended, shooting shots, wanting to internet bang. They're probably inviting the cop, laughing with them, giving them a pisto. You remember that. But what you were saying is, as far as stereotypes, I get what you're saying. I understand it.
Yeah, because look, bro, I am a Mexicano 100%, born in Mexico, both parents born in Mexico. I still have the same costumbres from Mexico. So I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever I hear from anybody refer to somebody as a paisa in a less than manner, like in a less than a Chicano, it does something to me, bro. You know what I mean? I don't think that's cool because look, because you yourself, Mikey, you'll be quick to protect the black gente of the N-word, but you won't be quick to protect your own gente from the paisa word. And that's a fucked up word, bro. If we're gonna be real, if we're gonna be 100% speaking like men, leave the internet shit to the side.
Yeah.
And you know damn well that when somebody refers to somebody as a paisa, it's always in a less than manner. It's always downgrading that. I don't even know why they're called paisas, but really, you're talking about a Mexicano. A paisa is just the word that you guys gave them, but really, you're speaking about a Mexicano, right? So,
100%.
So, now you said earlier, tell me that I'm not a Mexicano. Well, you're not a Mexicano, bro, because where were you born?
Come on, there you go.
Where were you born?
That's comedy now. That's comedy. Okay, so you
No.
you get technical with it. No, let's talk about it. You get technical with it because I was born in the U.S., right?
Right.
Okay, got it. And I say because of my so rich, in-depth, ingrained cultura that I was still, reluctant to be raised under Mexican traditions, o sea, los manteles, las abuelitas, las tortillas hechas a mano, las salsas, and that generation is pretty much, 70, 80% past, that how I y no nomás eso, what I heard, because I'm from the generation that's still, cabrones, the gabachos, we fought a lot of pinche gabachos. They didn't accept us for a while until we're running fades with them all the time. But yo también, I heard slurs all the time. So I think I'm from the last generation that still heard racial slurs. But it trips people out. O sea, you have a different opinion, and other people have a different opinion. If I'm not born in Mexico, I'm not Mexican. Come on, cabrón. Come on.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Here it is right here.
I mean,
Risky business with the thesaurus. He got the new Merriam-Webster
no,
defining things.
No, but this is just coming from a Mexicano, right? You're speaking to a Mexicano. You're not speaking to a Chicano, right? So if the question gets asked, who is a Mexicano? If the question gets asked, who is a Mexicano? Simple. Anybody that's born in Mexico of Mexican parents. You're a Mexicano. What's your channel called?
Chicano Tube.
Chicano Tube. You're a Chicano, right? You're a Chicano. So technically, you're not a Mexicano, bro. That's just what it is. I mean, what can we do about it, right? Like, you're proud to be a Chicano. I'm proud to be a Mexicano.
Cálmate.
You know what I mean?
Hold on. I think you heard me say that I know that I'm three things. I know, and no one can talk me out of this. Till you're blue in the face, cabrón. It doesn't make sense. We could break it down.
You think American Cholo says?
No, not Miklo, way. I don't feel a certain. Not Miklo. My definition is not from a movie, way. And watch American Cholo pretty soon. He's gonna put about 20 Mexican flags. He's already started talking about I'm helping our people. I'm helping. Yeah, but when he gets into a situation like you said, then he wants to call 50 people. I understand what you said about Norbeez. I'm going to have Norbeez on once he breaks his silence, and then we'll come back to that. I'll keep talking about the YouTube Yarda Disagreement. But me and you are going to pick up that conversation on, because I know I'm American, Mexican, and Chicano at the same time.
I don't know about that, man.
Why do I have to be?
You gotta pick one.
Why do I have to be 100 anything? I could be 100 all. I'm telling you.
I don't know, man. Like me, look. I was born in Mexico, right? I've been raised in Texas, right? Texas within the United States. But you ain't gonna catch me saying I'm a Tejano. You ain't gonna catch me saying I'm a U.S. citizen, because I'd be lying. So I'm Mexicano, way. You know, for first and foremost, that's what I am. You know what I mean? Like I can't help it. You know what I mean? That's why the other day I brought up to. That's why you guys are confused, because you guys move the goalposts. You guys aren't 100% of what you guys are, Chicanos. I'm just saying. I'm just calling it what it is. You know what I mean? But
risky business.
But anyway, just
Dime.
But anyway, just to recap really quick, bro. Yeah, man. I don't think it's fair that when you go a hater world that you go on the Mexicano thing, bro. Like that's because you're discriminating on your own gente. It's the same thing that you said that he's doing, the same thing that you're doing. You said it, chuntaro, bro. Chuntaro is a discriminatory, is a discrimination word for, and really what you're saying by chuntaro, look, I don't think it's because I don't think you know. By chuntaro, you mean your own people, Mikey.
I know what you mean. I'm here.
Because
there you go. You've been grilling me for 5 minutes already. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down. Why? But off the line,
chuntaros are because chuntaros are Mexicanos from the South. To us, look, check it out. To us, Mexicanos that live on the frontera, right, which is, Mexico, Texas, to us Mexicanos, when we say chuntaros, we refer to your people from down there. That's a discriminatory word to your own gente.
And let me tell you, that's actually facts right there, because the first time I heard that word was in Mexico, and I got a little bit of the definition. A lot of people don't believe Mexicanos can be racistas towards each other. They very much can and will be, and that's based on like different levels of sociedad. Cabrón, I'm going to take another call.
Yes, sir. But
hey, I appreciate
buenas
you.
Noches, bro.
Buenas noches. We got a lot to be continued, eh? Ahí hablamos. Stay safe, man. Pinchy risky business, man. Stay between the lines. Watch the lines, cabrón. Like Cholo Trucker says, stay in between the lines, cabrón. So risky business believes that I can't be Americano 100%, Mexicano 100%, and Chicano 100%. And I think it's just because we're putting our thinking in a box. I think we're putting our thinking. We'll go back and talk about the disagreement. I haven't really even touched it yet. We'll explain the disagreement between Chemo's Flicks. Shout out to you, cabron. The general, the YouTube Yarda, Chemo's Flicks. He's saying it has to be this, it has to be that, it has to be that. But who says? Who sets that standard? Who says, cabron?
Call from
P-Dog.
That's right, P-Dog's on Chicano Street. You've been trying to get through. My bad. I appreciate you. What you got to say, P-Dog?
It's all good. It's all good. I have a lot of thoughts on, all the bullshit that happens with the YouTube drama. And I watch those channels pretty often. And, well, I guess like everybody, I got an opinion. But, I've watched those channels pretty often to where I think I have a little bit of weight behind my opinion because I've been a long time viewer. In fact, the last caller, nothing against Jay from South Texas or AKA Risky Business, whatever his name is or whatever, but he's also a caller that's pretty often too. And, I don't know, he has his ideas. I'm gonna put it like that. But going into the whole Norby shit, the way I see that fake accusation against him, I see that there was a lot of agendas behind that by many different people that collaborated together for each one of them having their own interest to make this attack. Because, man, there's just so much to go over that I'm not gonna waste time here by being inefficient, but I'm gonna just say that there was many agendas by different people, and they all executed on that shit. Of course, Blue Dildo admitted it to that shit on his live stream or whatever the hell his channel is.
That blows me away.
I would say I think it's pretty simple that the reason why he would admit to something like that is because I think, this is just an opinion of mine, you guys could tell me what you think, but this fool wants to be so in like the YouTube genre of no jumper. He wants to be in that space, numbers wise, and collecting that, I guess, YouTube money or whatever the fuck, but he wants to be so in it that when he was reviewing Adam and Wax video, they're commenting on Norby's getting fucking beat up. It's almost like he was pissed off that he didn't get credit or shouted out for having been the one to originally pop that shit off, like how he said he lit the match.
Oh yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. He wants to be known as the author of viral moments to go up a level.
He probably would have done fucking some nasty shit, you know what I mean, to get a shout out on No Jumper, because that's probably he was so clouded by, hey, say my name, oh, I'm pissed off, well, I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna put it out there that I said it, I don't care, that's what I think. That's what, besides, that's just one thing, but the dudes on No Jumper, the main thing I wanted to call and say is that fake video, right, that was put on Norbeez as a racist, that edited video to highlight the more nastier parts of it, to make it more nasty than what it is. That shit is bad for a couple of reasons. Because while Alvin over there, fucking AC, American Cholo, him co-signing that shit, putting it out there. Trap News Network, I don't even know that full channel like that, but one of the original Morenos that was like really pissed off about it, but he's really one of the homies of Blue Devil. And Poet Flaco, which is an individual with No Jumper, was even calling him on that live to show from early on, if you've been paying attention, you could see all the connections there. Poet Flaco, by the way, does a lot of conversations with another individual, Tariq Nasheed, who is a black supremacist, and he's a controversial figure of his own. And he's the guy who originally was involved in the attack against American Cholo to do that same play that they did on Norbeez now. But
Oh yeah,
All that aside,
you've seen the whole backstory, huh? You've seen everything play out.
Yeah, no. I could, if I could collect my thoughts better, maybe I'll call in another time. But I'll quickly say basically the problem with all of this to me is that when American Cholo and fucking Blue Dildo and these fools, when they put that shit out there to attack Norbeez, and each one having their own goals, maybe their beef with Rhodium Radio or their beef with something stupid, but they all got like agendas, all different agendas, right? But when they do that, they open the door for more. They open the floodgates for like Mexicano raza podcasters to be labeled as racist. They open that door.
And that's a really strong word too. So again, I'll keep talking about the Norby situation, but I'm just glad. In my opinion, I believe that the banda world, his self-admittance to setting him up like that and wanting him done, I believe that clears him, or doesn't it exonerate him, or it doesn't.
It does, but even if that fool hadn't put that video, it's pretty obvious that shit was trumped up. It was edited. But I personally think that what that does, whether these fools didn't care about that AC and Blue Dildo, whether they didn't care about secondary consequences of putting Norbeez as a racist and how that, took a life of its own, because the dudes on No Jumper made a video reacting to Norbeez alone, saying that they were going to fuck them up even worse. And these fools are gangbanging it too. And, not to get too deep into it, but those of us that know, we know that like them fools, they said something interesting on a video that American Cholo posted on his content as a form of, he posted this video from No Jumper as a form of validation to himself. But in this little clip, them dudes from No Jumper, they're talking about Norbeez, and they get into a little rant and they start talking about anti-black culture and Latinos.
I remember.
And they're really hyper-focused on that.
A lot of them
But
ran
what
with
they
it.
said on there, what I say is important is that the comparison they made, saying, oh, like in Long Beach, it's like the KKKs against the blacks. And, those of us that know, hey, there's certain gangs out there that they beef, and it just so happens that people, when they funk with each other, they're going to fucking hate each other. But it seems like these guys they're using political correct cancel culture to fit their agenda of just railroading Norbeez. I think you can't have both. You can't be out here a controversial gangbanging figure yourself, but at the same time you want to use the moral high ground.
Hello.
Like a fucking Karen yourself.
Hello.
And I'll just leave it at that. But that's the consequences, bro, is that these fools, whether they didn't care or not, Blue Dildo and fucking AC, they allowed it. They opened that angle because another dude recently, I don't watch him too often, but Dubs, he has his channel. He was labeled as a racist too for something that seems very like, dang, you guys are like really reaching. And, there's people behind this stuff, like, again, Tariq Nasheed and other individuals that, when people whisper, there's spiritual warfare that goes on, and people take opportunity in that shit. Blue Devil might have thought he was so smart, but he's playing chess, but other people are playing chess too, and there's consequences, and, I guess I'll leave it at that.
That's right. Hey, I appreciate the call, cabrón.
All right.
Ándale, cuídate. Take care. My. 831-205-1735. The lines are lit, and I haven't even gotten into. I've been on the first line of the disagreement between Chemo's Flicks and myself. So what I saw was Chemo do a video. Was it a video? He shared something, and I seen his hashtag, and I'm like, oh damn. Chemo's Flicks disagrees, but in the context of the word. The context of the word to me is like pinchy, what is it called? The Wicked Witch of the West. What's the name of that pinchy movie? That's the context that I take the word as. But some people are pinchy. They spin it, they take it, and what the last caller said was when No Jumper picked it up, of course they're gonna pick it up, cabron. Some shit like that because they're podcasters. You know, it's gonna be talked about. We already know that was like the biggest viral moment. You know, when Norbeez went to go troll Alvin, bam, 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 bam. We already know that
Call
was the most
from-
viral moment, maybe of the year. Who knows?
To accept.
Caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say? You're live on Chicano Street.
Hey, yo.
Call from
Enoch. Grifter.
Caller, Grifter's calling back in. You're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say, Grifter?
Sorry, I was drinking water. You're calling me Grifter. It's I mean to correct you. It's anti-grifter because I'm anti the grifting.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. That's just my little abbreviation. I know it's anti-grifter guy.
Okay.
And it's just me now being a Chicano.
Okay. Yeah. It's
The
all good then.
Grifter, man, my boy.
Hey, so I'm gonna say something somewhat controversial. Well, I don't think it's controversial. It's just I haven't heard anyone speak on it. Okay, I gotta be careful because I don't want to get sued. So you know what AC's been saying about the homie Sonny? He's been saying that allegedly.
Oh man, they've been going back and forth for like ever now, ever since that live that Paul LA Times had mediated, and the whole time it looks like there were just shots and mud slinging from the other side that just showed his true character. But yeah, I know that whole story.
Well, he said that he did something allegedly to some older person. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the thing is, I know Sonny, he's not the type to obviously deal with the court system, obviously, but if it was like a regular civilian person, he could sue AC for defamation of character because he's saying that stuff without any proof. So that's the thing that's tripping me out. Why is AC doing this? And even Hater World too, he can get in trouble for trying to incite violence against somebody. So I'm just like, dude, why are they? I'm like shaking my head. Why are they so stupid? With they can get in trouble for this if they were doing this to regular people. And I'm like, dude, why? I called Norbeez one time, like so frustrated. Why are they doing this? I don't know.
It's because it costs money. Way. I mean, even me, I had to get a judgment against the runner after he burned me for 10 racks. And yeah, I said it was the lawyer homie. But the lawyer homie is charging me racks to just do the move.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people ain't pulling out 5 to 10 racks to do these. Like Dubs is another character. He was talking about he was gonna do it because some other youngster in Denver, Colorado said that Dubs was trying to put him on with some work. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And a lot of people were blown away like, what? He wanted you to make moves for him? Yeah, he wanted you to make moves for him. And then that individual said, oh, that's defamation. Well, drop the 10 bands and get a lawyer. If you ain't got money like that, you ain't going to sue shit.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what, like, because look, man, like, I think with the right.
Grifter.
Look, the rights of social media. Look, this whole Chicano stuff is like new. I haven't, like, I watch other stuff outside of the Chicano world, and this guy was explaining how the rise of social media has like made people comfortable say whatever they want with thinking there's no consequences. And yeah, like there's been people that been sued for saying stuff that's out of line without proof. So it's like you can't call someone a chomo without legitimate paperwork and all that. So that's why, I'm like tripping out at Alvin and the Hater World, dude. They can get caught up for some serious stuff. They think it's all fun and games, but I don't know, man. But I wanted to piggyback on something that Whiskey Business said.
Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of agree. Yeah, he does make some valid points. I'm not saying he doesn't, but look, man. If we're all honest with ourselves, even behind the scenes, we can all admit that we're all a little bit racist. Nobody just wants to admit it, right? Because I listen to a bunch of kind of stuff that's not really, I guess you could call it edgy radio. So when I hear people saying, stuff that's out there, it's like, to me, it doesn't really offend me like it would to the average, social justice warrior. I get you. So I don't know. I guess Risky, he has a good point, but at the same time, it's like, to me, it's like this, man. It's more about what someone says to you in person versus on the internet. Like if someone's saying, if you go on YouTube and you look at people saying offensive stuff about your people, I mean, whose fault is it? The person saying it or the person looking at it? So that's just my take on that.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Pinche grifter.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, cabrón. Hey, gracias for calling in. I'm gonna take another call.
All right, for sure, man. Take it easy. And
Andale.
shout out to Norbeez. All right, like.
That's right. Shout out to Norby. So again, I think, are we gonna be able to round this out? Norby's has been such a pinche viral topic. I just put Norby's on the name of the caption of the video, and everything just blows up. I can't even get past the second or third line. But Norby's is going to be coming back. He's going to break his silence pretty soon. I don't know. There's been rumors. I don't know if there is a court case outstanding. So we're going to respect. We're gonna respect a lot of questions that just can't be answered, gente. But here's the disagreement. Finally, let me see if I can get to it. Do I gotta turn the phones off? Chingado. I might have to turn the phones off for a second. 16 missed calls. I got 16 missed calls. Chemo put it in his hashtag, and he put not cleared. And again, different perspective. And Chemo is a general on the YouTube Yarda. Don't get it twisted. You still got Chemo, you still got OG Triple OG, and you still got EBK. Me, I got my own role on the YouTube Yarda. You know what my role is? My role is I'm like Big Art, Big Smile. I'm the boss of bosses. That means I'm right under. No, just te crea, pinche. The boss of bosses. That would have to be authorized by Chemo. That would have to be authorized by EBK, and that would have to be authorized by OG Triple OG. But I got my own role, okay? The boss of why? Because I pushed the pinche line, cabrones. Come on, give that to me, por favor. So, you know, Chemo will just pull rank on me, and then that's it, cabron. You know what I mean? I don't overstep boundaries. I learned that. That's how I did what I did and was able to just survive all the years, is seeing people laid out all the time because they break rules. I don't break rules, but I disagree respectfully with Chemo. I absolutely do.
Call from Tik.
Okay. Now I'm going to have to turn the lines off. All right, the lines are off. Officially, the lines are off. No more phone calls, because I want to make sure I get this across right here, is that I disagree. Is that I totally disagree with Chemo, and I say he's all the way clear. I say Norbeez is fully functioning on the Yarda. He's off of freeze. You know, almost most of the month, people were walking away from Norbeez. They're walking away, and that's not good. It usually doesn't end good. But in the end, the Huila came. And when the Huila came, we found out that the dude that set the whole thing up, no, not set the whole thing up, but yeah, someone said, that wasn't a setup. Bro, he admitted to wanting to go ahead and cancel him 100%. So, yeah, don't call it a setup, but you can say he tried to cancel him completely off of YouTube Landia. And the vindication came, in my, again, respective opinion, but Chemo, he's probably going to call a meeting now, huh? He's going to call a junta. All right, let's get to the last subject, gente. Let's get to the last subject. Should Chicanos speak Spanish? Where did I get this subject from? I got the subject from someone sent me a clip, and it was a Chicano rapper, and you know what Chicano rap is, right? Bald head and lokes, okay, rapping, zapping Roger beats or rapping over oldies. At least that's how I remember it. If I was a newer rapper, I probably wouldn't even want to put that handle on myself, because you're going to put yourself inside of a box, especially when they find out you're from California, because most of the California plays with the politics, and the politics govern everything if you let them, if you invite them. You know, there's some podcasts, they can't do anything they want. They think they're big and they're bad, but guess what happens sooner or later? If you're under that umbrella, they're going to come knocking on your door, because that's just you. That's not Chicano too. Here, we're just for the raza. We're for the people. What raza? Mexicanos, Chicanos. All right, here we go. Should Chicanos speak Spanish? So someone that says, I represent the gente, and he's brown, he's Mexican. Híjole, my bad, Big Joe. I had just disconnected it, carnal. I had Big Joe call in right now. I just disconnected it. My bad. I went ahead and I plugged it back in, Big Joe. My bad. Because I was already starting to wrap up, Governor. We're already coming up past the 1 hour mark. We're coming up on this last topic right here. Maybe some people will have some opinions about this one. This seems to be a really, really good one, which is, should Chicanos speak Spanish? I'm going to give you the short answer, and the short answer should be yes. And the short answer should be yes. O sea, how else can we pass down the culture if we don't know the culture? Now, here are the people that are going to say this. The people that are going to say, well, that's not even your language. We could talk about that. We could talk about that. Because even the indigenous people adapted to the language because it became a means to communicate and trade. O sea, you're not going to be losing money if you could learn another language. You're not going to be losing money. That was the reason that it got adapted. The Spanish language got adapted to. So for all the cabrones que se agüitan and say foreigners, a foreign language, cálmanse. It is what it is, you know. Again, I'm not one of those kind of individuals there's two sides of the ditch. There's an extreme side of the ditch over here, and there's an extreme side of the ditch over here. Okay, that they want to go back in time to temple sacrifices. Well, that's the extreme side of the ditch over here, cabrones. And then the other side of the extreme side of the ditch is want nothing to do with the motherland. Is want nothing to do with mi México lindo y querido. That's the other side of the ditch that I will never, ever be on. Ever. And that's till the casket drops.
Now you home with us and defend the barrio. Patos locos forever. Forever.
And that's forever, man. We're going to go ahead and we're coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. The phone calls are still blowing up. Let me see who's on the line.
Call from
Hey, this is Joe Price.
to accept.
I can't even. My bad. I can't even make that out, man. Half of the people that call, if you call with no caller ID or unknown, that's probably why it's not going to get through. Just a disclaimer. That's right. RAP Wicked, a.k.a. Gino Molina, fitness influencer. Oh, that's right. Full Man. I appreciate you, Full Man. Full Man's in the casa. You're live on Chicano Street, Full Man. I don't know if you've ever been on the channel before, but much love to you. You know what Chicano Street is? You know what Chicano Street is? It's where all the Mexicans are. Okay, it's when you turn that corner. Every city got one. It's where you turn that corner, and then all of a sudden you see a bunch of Mexicans over there with flannels, with hush puppies, Cortez on, you know, with beanies, the ones they would tie with the rubber band. So that's Chicano Street, my boy. So I appreciate you. The street saying, Lord, that's right. I appreciate you. Sonny's in the car. Sonny's not wrenched up. Chale Street. Okay, no more phone calls, gente. No more. Oh, shit. But Big Joe wanted to call. Damn. Big Joe, my bad, Big Joe. I just disconnected it, Big Joe, before you called, cabron, and I know you wanted to get through. I'm gonna have to pop these things off, man. I'm trying to get to the live, though, gente, because I got Sonny over here, and I don't know why he ain't got a wrench. Crazy. So, again, I disagree with Chemo's Flicks on that. I completely disagree. I say he's clear. I say he's programming. He's busting burpees. He feels vindicated. And he wants how this is going to be made right. How can this be made right? Back to Norbeez, who clearly got cleared and exonerated from all of it based on the context of the word. He used the context of the word like the pinchy wicked witch of the West, Oz, or I can't even remember the pinchy movie, man. Let me see if I can get on the live to bless Sonny. Okay, here it is. 129 watching. That's right. Don't forget to hit that like, cabrones. Please, por favor, hit that subscribe. All right. There it is. Sonny, Streets Ain't Loyal. That's right. I appreciate you, Sonny, man. He's one of the realest dudes right there. He speaks straight from his corazon. Don't you appreciate that? Someone that speaks straight from the heart. Nowadays, you don't even know who the fuck to believe, man. They got a motive behind a motive. They got a filter behind the filter. You don't know if they're keeping it real or they're doing it for views. RH is in the casa. Mikey's novela gonna come out soon. Mikey's novela is gonna come out soon. Man, I'm telling you, people love the novela. So again, we're Mexicanos, cabrones. Aquí no se... Come on, gente. Let's keep this real, okay? You already know, as Mexicanos, we would sit down at the mesa, right? And ahí estás con las tías, right? And you sit down at the mesa con las tías, con un pozole, menudo, whatever it is, right? Y la tía sí, estuvo bien gacho lo que pasó con ella. And what are you going to say? ¿Qué pasó, tía? So that's why we get into the cheese, man, every once in a while, cabrón. Let's hit that pinche like E-Raw 209. That's right, E-Raw 209 is going to get wrenched too, cabrón. He's getting a wrench too. He's another solid day one. Sylvia Lopez, I appreciate you. Norbeez, please. That's right, Norbeez is in the comment section. Again, respectfully, that's just me. You know, I take my position, Chemo. I don't overstep none of my boundaries, Chemo. Don't think I am the general. I already know what you say. You say jump, I say how high. You know, me, the boss of bosses. How about that position? But again, that would be, so the boss of bosses, the inner council reports to me. Does that make sense? The inner council, I would be consigliere, but that would be the Italians, cabrón. That would be the Italians. So it has to be the boss of bosses, and then the inner council reports to me, okay? So I'm on top of the captains, cabrón. I'm just kidding. Shooting shots right there. You guys, I'm wrapping it up right now. I'm going to tap back in with the familia. Today was such a beautiful day con mi hija, man. My hija, she was at la graduación de ella. She gave a speech, gente, that was like, had me just, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? She was talking about Pops in her speech in front of 3,000 people. 3,000 people. Mi hija in middle school dio a speech. You know, they choose 2 kids. She was one of the 2. I'm so proud. I don't deserve los hijos que tengo. I really, really don't deserve the kids that I have. They're just, I'm so glad that it's just, I guess it's all the prayers. It's all the time on my knees and prayers. Dios, castígame a mí, no a ellos, for everything that I've done, and bless them. And it looks like it's happening, man. So, yeah, my daughter had me in tears. Fuimos a comer. Wonderful day. Live from the 805 was this weekend. And some people had messaged me, oh, AC's in the 805. AC's in the 805. Well, what could have happened? Hey, cabrón, any differences that you got, do you want to handle it by mutual combat? Just, do you agree to mutual combat? And that probably would have been it. Now, in California, that's not legal. In Texas and other mostly red conservative states, mutual combat is legal. Not in blue states, not in left states. Don't get mad. Politics is a buzzkiller, but don't get mad, cabrón. I'm always going to give you straight from the corazon, you know. Mutual combat is legal, but in red states, this one is not. So maybe someone will get a citation, but at least it was on the premise of mutual combat. And I'm not saying I hate the dude, gente. Don't get this twisted. This is YouTube. Don't ever let YouTube change your life. Don't ever let YouTube alter your mood. Don't ever let YouTube infiltrate your family. Reality is when I hit the X on this pinche computer and go back with my familia y mis pinches perros que me aman and I wrestle with them. This Friday night, a tío va a venir de Cualcomán, Michoacán. I'm a little bit like, oh shit. My uncle is a man's man. I mean, this is like I have like Chente. I feel like Chente's coming to the house. He's a man's man. So around men's men like that, like just when we're in Kentucky, the groom's husband was a man's man. You know how I know? That guy, I just sensed it for one. And two, when he gave a speech, he said he was a high school football coach and Golden Glove boxer. High school football coach and Golden Glove boxer. This pinche guy is as tough as nails. So again, Friday vamos a hacer una pinche pachanguita. So tomorrow night, you're going to get the Chicano Hour. You're going to get Mr. and Mrs. Chicano Tube. And we're going to be talking relationships because you guys send messages about high-value man, high-value woman. Do people fall in love still? Cheating. Cheating questions, all kinds. Can you recover if you get cheated on? All these different situations. We got Miss Chicano Tube coming on tomorrow night. And she got a lot to... Ella no tiene pelos en la lengua. She's like me. She don't hold back. So it's going to be a good one. You want to hear something on relationships? Hey, at least with this podcast, you come out a couple IQ numbers higher. That's right. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, you guys. I'm going to wrap this thing up. Let me give a roll call, though. The official Big Joe Show, Dispensa Carnal. I've been disconnecting it, connecting it the last 10 minutes. I couldn't even get my thoughts out on Norbeez being cleared. Now, Risky Business brought up something that I never heard before. So we'll have Norbeez on the channel in the future, and we'll talk about his opinion on the country of Mexico. Just hear how I said it, though. Okay, hear how I said it, because a lot of people, they think with their feelings, and they don't think with their head. So I want to make sure this is a certain topic, the country of Mexico, which, man, mi Mexico lindo, no hay como dos. You guys hit that like, you guys. I'm out. It's Wednesday night. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. You get a double dose of the Holy Ghost. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Many more episodes coming soon. Gracias, mi linda raza, for all of your support. We're coming up on 11,000, and we're about to do our 1 year anniversary next month, Chicano Tube. 1 year anniversary. So it's going to be a special live. There's going to be giveaways. I'll just give that away. You already know me. I'll go by the merch store and grab one of everything off the shelf. And Chicano flags and all that. Speaking of that, Mr. 209, cabron, I still got to send you your Chicano flag. It's been right there on the DJ booth. Live on Chicano Tube. Live on Chicano Street. Gracias, mi linda raza, una vez más. But remember what I always say? Remember what I always say. In the end, all you got is the memories.